The Isle of Man is a small island located in the Irish Sea, between Great Britain and Ireland. Its history is rich and varied, having been influenced by different cultures and powers over the centuries. Early history. The Isle of Man has been inhabited since the Stone Age, with the first known settlers arriving around 6,500 years ago. Significant communities lived on the island during the Bronze and Iron Ages. The Celtic culture had a profound influence on the island, and the Manx language, a Celtic language, has survived to this day. Viking and Norse rule. From the 8th century onwards, the Vikings began to raid the Isle of Man and eventually settled there. In 1079, Godred Crovan, a Norse warrior, took control of the island, establishing the Kingdom of Man and the Isles, which included the Hebrides. Under Norse rule, the island became a significant maritime power, playing a strategic role in Viking trade routes around the British Isles. Scottish and English control. By the late 13th century, the Isle of Man became a contested territory between Scotland and England. In 1266, the Scots gained control of the island from the Norse through the Treaty of Perth. Later, in 1399, the island was granted to the Stanley family by King Henry IV of England, and they ruled it for over 3 centuries. Modern era. During the 18th century, the Isle of Man became notorious for smuggling due to its position outside British trade regulations. However, by the 19th century, the British government tightened its control, and the island gradually became integrated into the UK's economic system. Autonomy and self-government. Today, the Isle of Man is a self-governing territory that is not part of the United Kingdom but is a Crown dependency. It has its own parliament, the Tynwald, which is the oldest continuous parliament in the world and enacts laws for the island. The UK is responsible for the island's defense and foreign affairs. Cultural heritage. The Isle of Man has a rich cultural heritage, including the Manx language, which has seen a revival in recent decades. The island is also famous for the TT motorcycle races, an event that attracts tourists annually. The people of the Isle of Man take pride in their independence and unique identity, which has been shaped by millennia of history.